Hey guys, it's me, Mr. 250, and welcome back to Higurashi. If I remember last time we were being questioned by an old man in the back of his car, that's kind of weird, actually, now that I say that out loud. Probably could have worded that better. Anyway, we're about to get started, but before we do, just want to make a little note. If you are watching this around the time it was uploaded, there seems to be a bug going on right now where some resolutions are not working. Like, the audio seems to play, but the video doesn't seem to play. And what seems to fix that is if you watch it in either 1080p or 360p, that seems to work. But other resolutions seem to have problems, so try that, and hopefully this goes up alright. So with that being said, let's continue. I saw a ceiling I was familiar with. Oh right, yeah, we fell asleep in the hallway. I remember now. Though I was groggy from sleep, I did notice that I was in my futon, like I was every morning. I looked at my clock, and despite having turned in so late last night, I had awoken at precisely the same moment I always did. I'm so low on sleep, but I guess you really can get up at the same time every day. The secrets of the human body never cease to amaze me. If I went back to sleep like this, I'd definitely not be waking up again. I spurred myself on and slipped out of my futon. Mom asked me about last night at breakfast. Apparently we too had gotten a call asking if we knew where Rika-chan and Satoko were, and Mom vaguely understood that something serious was happening.
じゃあ、昨夜はお友達とみんなで夜遅くまで探してたの?
You got that right, Mom.
3時くらいまでかな。うん。
結局見つかったの? そのリカちゃんとサトコちゃんは。
Crunch. It weirdly bit into my toast. It really didn't have any taste. Just then, we heard the chime go ding-dong. I looked up at the clock and saw that it was about 5 minutes past my regular meeting time with Rena. It was her at the door.
おはよう。少しは眠れたかな。
何時間寝れたんだろうな。多分、鶏の足でも数えられるくらいだと思う。
How many toes does a chicken have? 4. Chickens have 4 toes. I'm glad we all learned that. Rina seemed pretty sleep deprived as well. There was something missing from her usual spirit.
学校、行くか。
うん。その方がね、きっといいと思うの。
She said, smiling a bit stiffly. Rina was probably worrying her heart out about those two as well. Even so, she wanted to go to school.
今日お休みしたら、きっと圭一くんは病んで寝込んじゃうと思う。私、そんなの嫌だから。だから、一緒に学校に行こ
う。わかった。ちょっと待っててくれ。すぐ支度するから。
I was just a little bit happy about Rina mustering that much consideration for me. We went to the place where we'd usually meet up with Mion, but she was nowhere to be found. We were a little bit late today, so we thought she'd be waiting for us.
う。みーちゃん、さすがに今日は起きられないかもね。
あ、そうか。あいつにとっては昨日だけじゃないんだよな。一昨日の晩も村長さんを探して徹夜してるんだよな。
We waited for a bit. Time passed until it got to the point where it was okay for us to go on alone, and we exchanged glances.
どうする？もう少し待つか？
At that point, my brain, which had finally been woken up by the morning air, recalled the ominous words Oishi-san had left me with last night. The leaders of the three families were disappearing one after the other. And next, it might be the Sonozaki's leader. Could Mian have... No, that couldn't be.
行こう。今日は寝かせておいてあげようよ。
She's gonna sleep forever now. Rena gave me a pat on the back.
ミオン、本当にいるよな。
何か言ったかな。
あ、いや、独り言。行こうぜ。
And I would regret that for the rest of my life. The two of us headed to school by ourselves. On the way, we saw a bunch of our classmates accompanied by their parents. It even looked like some of them were being taken to school by car. Surprisingly, the principal was also standing watch at the school gate. I'd never seen that before.
おはようございます。
おはようございます。
That's right, Guardian. The principal was bowing to our classmates' guardians. The wooden sword leaning next to him was a little ominous.
前原くん、おはよう。竜宮くん、おはよ
Gotta keep us safe around
お
here.
はようございます。
う。先生から大切なお話があるから、すぐに教室に入るように。いいかね。
We're going into lockdown, kids. Hope you enjoy eating nothing but rice. Rena and I said nothing. The madness that only existed at night had finally crawled out into the sunlight. That's what it felt like. No one's allowed to leave. The hushed conversations that had been spreading for a while now all disappeared like an illusion the moment our teacher walked in the door. Silence dominated the classroom. The principal came in with our teacher as well. This was clearly not a normal morning.
まず、校長先生から大切なお話があります。校長先生、どうぞ。
The principal cleared his throat and approached the dice?
もう知っている生徒もおるだろう。
The classroom was dead silent. Everyone was staring at Rika-chan and Satoko's empty seats. They were bad kids. They ran away. Don't be like them. The principal briefly and simply declared that Rika-chan and Satoko had gone missing. There wasn't a single person in the classroom who didn't already know. There seemed to be many, however, who couldn't accept it as the truth. It had been confirmed to them by now by the principal's words. There were sobs throughout the classroom, and I heard a kid crying. What a baby. They steadily spread throughout the whole room. The big-hearted principal wasn't able to keep his cool either.
はい、皆さん注目注目。今日から当分の間、登下校は保護者の方と一緒に行います。
What if you don't have parents? You know, like Rika-chan or Satoko.
保護者の方の都合がつきにくい生徒は、集団での登下校とします。
Alright, fair enough.
プリントを作りましたので、よく読み、保護者の方にも必ず見せてください。いいですね。
Your parents don't know it yet, but we're gonna get them tied up with this too. The teacher's voice was a little abrasive. Not even she could conceal the strain she felt from this unprecedented abnormal situation. They should have just canceled school today. However, Rena told me that the school was also like a nursery for the students whose parents both worked, so some of them wouldn't want school to be canceled.
では、授業を始めます。委員長はお休みですね。
Ah, she's next.
では日直、号令、起立。
That feeling of wanting to maintain an everyday atmosphere, even if only in school, precisely because our lives had been messed up, was something that I agreed with at this point. As for the teacher, who always had her lunch in the staff lounge, she ate in the classroom today. I had to laugh at her curry bento, which was just a rumor until now, but there was nobody to laugh with me. Rena brought her chair and lunch over to my seat. Today, it was only the two of us. The fact that we didn't need to drag any other desks over was sad.
眠いね。
ああ、でももうそんなに気にならなくなったよ。むしろ今寝れるくらいのずぶとい神経が羨ましい。
そうかもね。
I was sleepy this morning, but my drowsiness had dissipated after coming to school, and constantly feeling the incredible tension. Rena's bento box didn't have its usual luster. That was to be expected. Rena was up for a long time last night too. She wouldn't have had time to make her lunch beforehand, since it's not like she would have gotten up early this morning.
遠慮なくつっつけよ。今日は素直に俺の弁当の方が立派なのを認めろ。
じゃあ遠慮なくいただくね。ああ、しそチーズのちくわ巻きなんて面白いな。
That is interesting. What's that?
レナのだって今日のはレトルトだろうけどなかなかうまいぞ。
I realized the two of us were desperately trying to brighten the afternoon mood to its usual level, as much as we could. I looked around the classroom, and it seemed like we were the only ones trying to do so, surrounded as we were by gloominess.
こうして二人だけでお弁当をつつき合ってると
Romantic?
なんだか
すごい。
なんだかだよね。
Our laughter grew quieter. I was the first one to mess up.
ごめん。悪かった。
いいよ。仕方ないよ。
Our chopsticks both stopped moving. We couldn't keep it up anymore.
リカちゃんとサトコどこに行ったんだろうな。
Those words might have sounded too miserable. Everyone was thinking it, using roundabout ways to address the topic, but I came right out and said it. I heard Rena catch a breath.
昨日ね、ケイチ君がいなくなってる間にいろいろと話を聞いてたから、レナの
昨夜はすまなかった。頼む。
At that time, since they had arrived for support, Rena was helping the Ladies' Society cook the miso soup we had. They reported all the information the villagers had gathered, and Rena said she overheard it.
でも結局何もわからなかったんだろう。学校が終わってから家に帰って二人で自転車に乗ってどこかへ行ったらしいということ以外は全く。
Mian had told me yesterday. We had no clues.
警察の人も家に帰ってからすぐに自転車で遊びに行ったんだろうって言ってる。家に帰ってからすぐに自転車で遊びに行くところと言ったら、だから沖宮の町でいなくなったんじゃないかって結論になってるみたい。
Didn't mean to skip that. They were going out to play somewhere on their bikes right after getting home, then they may have gone into town. So I guess they concluded they disappeared while under Kinomiya. There we go.
警察は明るくなってから捜査範囲を沖宮にも広げるって言ってた。
In town. It makes sense why we couldn't find them, even though we searched all of Hinamizawa then. Still, something didn't fit. I had no basis for thinking that. Just a gut feeling. I revealed something to Rika-chan that was likely very important to her that day. Then Rika-chan had told me to leave it to her. And then, what did she say? Oh, right. If she didn't work hard, then something bad might happen to the dog, too. I think. With all the talk of dogs and cats, I still didn't have the faintest idea what she really meant. But it might have been Rika-chan's way of saying this was a race against time. Dang it. I'd selfishly pushed my anxiety on Rika-chan and tried to run away. When I thought about it, I shouldn't have run back then. I should have asked her more about the dogs and cats. The more I think back on it, I really screwed up. Anyway, I don't think Rika-chan was in a situation where she would just go off to play somewhere. Of course, I didn't have any evidence or conviction to base that on. It was just a hunch.
街なんかに行くわけないと思うんだ。
ケイチ君もそう思う？レナもそう思うよ。リカちゃんもサトコちゃんもひなみ沢でいなくなったに違いないの。
I looked back at Rina, startled. I could hear the conviction in those words. Without replying to my gaze, she took her bento box and went to the hallway.
お弁当箱を洗ってくるね。
She timed that in a way that broke off the conversation. Suddenly, I got the feeling that the next thing she had to say would be hard to say aloud in the classroom. I hurriedly grabbed my bento box and followed her. Rina didn't go to the kitchenette, but rather to the water fountains out back, where the students seldom went. The water flowed down into our bento boxes. During that time, Rina didn't say a word. Then, after making sure there were no other students around, she finally opened her mouth to speak.
リカちゃんとサトコちゃんが街に遊びに行っていなくなったなんて、なんだか腑に落ちなくて、私なりにいろいろ聞いたり調べたりしたの。
聞いた？何を？
婦人会のおばさんたちにいろいろ。昨日のお味噌汁、お豆腐がいっぱい入ってたでしょ？富田豆腐店のおばあちゃんも来てたの。
The Tomita Tofu Shop. Oh, I remember. That was one of the stores on the road leading to the hospital. Those huge lumps of tofu dancing in the bathtub-like cistern always look nice and refreshing.
おばあちゃんね、昨日学校の帰り道にさとこちゃんがお店に寄ってお豆腐を買っていったのを覚えてたの。
豆腐？学校の帰り道にだろ？それが何か手がかりになるのか？
いいから聞いて。リカちゃんの家に行った時のこと覚えてるかな？
Rina stepped away from the sinks and spread her arms wide to recreate the space of Rika-chan's room.
ガス台にお鍋がかけてあって、その中にお味噌汁が入ってたの。中にはお豆腐が多分一丁の半分くらい入ってたと思う。残りの半分は冷蔵庫の中にあったの。冷ややっこにするつもりだったんだね。お皿に開けてラップがかけてあった。
As Rina explained, she walked around as if she were really going through Rika-chan's room.
でもレナ、それが何だって言うんだ
？No voice line. Keiichi-kun, when you make miso soup, you put the tofu in last. That means that Rika-chan or Satoko-chan, whoever was cooking, was standing there making it up until right before dinner time. Right up until dinner time? Wasn't everyone saying that their bikes weren't around? So they must have gone somewhere to play by themselves.
三角コーナーのゴミを見たらすごく不吉祥だった。
Okay, that was just, I guess, one missing audio line. Well, and Keiichi's too, right? Yeah.
食事やお弁当はほとんどリカちゃんが作ってるんだけど、たまにね、さとこちゃんがすることもあるの。だからその晩はさとこちゃんがお料理したんだね。
So that means that Satoko at least didn't go somewhere to play. She was preparing dinner? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with these audio lines. It's a little spooky, I guess.
うん。それで私、炊飯釜も見てみたの。炊飯釜には2人分のご飯がかけてあった。
I think rice is the scariest thing of all, really.
ってことは2人分の夕飯は作ったけど 二人とも夕飯は食べなかった。そういうことか。
Rena nodded.
それで次に冷蔵庫の中も見てみたの。そうしたら残り半分のお豆腐で作った冷ややっこがあったの。それだけじゃない。お夕飯用に作ったおかずも何皿かあって、それらにはみんなラップがされていた。
You usually plastic wrap things so that you can have leftovers for the next day. My mom does it all the time too, using them in breakfast or lunch.
そう。ラップって食べ残しとかを取っておくためにするものだよね。冷蔵庫に入れたということは、少なくともその晩のうちには食べないつもりだったということ。
そういうことになるのか？
圭一くん、もっとよく考えて。お夕飯を全く手つけずでラップしてあったんだよ。どういうことだと思う？
They weren't hungry at all.
じゃあ夕食を食べる必要がなくなったわけだ。外食とか出前とかで。
それも突然にね。前もって決まっていたらお料理なんかしない。そしてお夕食は2人分用意されていた。つまりさとこちゃんは2人で食事ができると本当に直前までそう思って料理をしていたということなの。
じゃあ2人で遊びに行っていなくなったというのは間違いじゃないか。
Who would have guessed? The adults were wrong again.
そう。
Okay, creepy music. Think you outlived your usefulness. You can stop now.
つまりいなくなったのはお夕飯ができて夕食に至るまでの本当にわずかな時間。多分7時頃くらい。
そんな時間に食事もせずに2人はどこへ行ったんだ？
当然そこに行き着くよね。
They went to McDonald's for late night chicken tenders.
圭一くん覚えてるかな？折りたたみ机が置いてあって、その上にお醤油や箸立てなんかが置いてあったのを。
There might have been something like that. I didn't remember.
お醤油の小瓶ね。空っぽだったの。もう一滴も入ってなかった。
Wow, that's incriminating right there. But, you know, I'd hate to take away your thunder, so you might as well explain what it means.
これじゃあ冷ややっこは美味しくないよね。
Of course it wouldn't.
だから私、流しの下にある醤油の大瓶を探してみたの。
よくそんなところにあるって知ってるな。
私もリカちゃんの家に行ってお料理したことあったから。
Rena cleared her throat, her face returning to a serious expression.
でね、流しの下を開けてみたら醤油の大瓶が瓶ごとなかったの。
Wow. That's pretty suspicious too. Do you think someone stole it?
醤油の大瓶がないと。
I don't know. What does that mean? Were they about to eat and they're like, holy crap, we're out of soy sauce. Better go down to the store and get some.
ここから先は全部レナの想像だからね。だから最後まで口を挟まずに聞いていてね。
Last night, Satoko was making dinner like normal. Rika-chan usually watched TV until the food is ready, so she was probably lying down watching a variety show or something. Satoko put the tofu in the miso soup, and right when dinner was about to be ready, she noticed that they were out of soy sauce. So Rika-chan, who had nothing to do, brought the big bottle of soy sauce to a neighbor's house to borrow theirs. Is that a common thing you do?
俺、ご近所付き合いってよくわからないんだ。
Yeah, I know.
醤油なんかって分けてもらえるものなのか？
Maybe it's like synonymous to going to a neighbor's house to borrow a cup of sugar, you know, to like make your cake or whatever. I always thought that was a weird custom, you know. I'm pretty sure that's fallen out of favor nowadays, but why sugar? Do people just go around, they're like, oh crap, I have no sugar, and then they go to their neighbor's house? I don't know. I would be more inclined if I really felt desperately like I needed to make it, to go to like a convenience store or to a grocery store. I wouldn't want to talk to my neighbor. Hey, do you have any sugar? No, go away. Okay. Thanks. Let me just go get my soy sauce.
うん。ひなみ沢ではそんなに珍しいことじゃないよ。
Guess Hinamizawa was okay with their soy sauce. I don't know if I've ever really had a time where I've desperately needed soy sauce, to be honest. Usually I have, like, some spare at home anyway. Usually it's not, like, I don't run out. Not that I guess, eat tons of it. So Rika-chan rode her bike out to get some soy sauce. No matter how long Satoko-chan waited, though, Rika-chan didn't come back. So then Satoko-chan called up the house to where Rika-chan was going. Do you have soy sauce? Would Rika happen to be imposing on you? Something like that. Then the other person must have replied with something like this.
うちに食事の用意があるから、さとこちゃんもいらっしゃい。
Oh no.
リカちゃんはもう食べてるよって。
Has she eaten? Or has she been eaten?
きっとそんな感じで呼び出したんだと思う。
Satoko called Rika a few times in private. A few names in private. And wrapped up the dinner she had made for them. She put it in the fridge so she could use it for breakfast and lunch the next day. Then Satoko got on her bike too, and headed for the house where Rika-chan was. That's pretty spooky.
でもすでにこの時点でおかしいの。食事ってね、突然やってきた人に振る舞えるほど多めに作るものじゃないんだよ。
I mean, I do. I make a lot of food. I just, leftover it a lot. A veteran housewife would never normally make so much food that she could feed 2 extra people.
たまたま偶然作りすぎたことだって考えられるだろう。
Don't you guys ever, make anything in a crock pot or anything? You usually end up with tons of food from that.
それでも絶対に考えられない。
Of course not. Hinamizawa doesn't have crock pots. Where would they even get them from? Rina flatly denied me.
だってリカちゃんはさとこちゃんが頑張って作ったお夕飯がもうできてることを知ってるんだよ。どんなにお夕飯を勧められたってさとこちゃんのお夕飯を無駄にするようなことをするわけがない。
This was all only circumstantial evidence and Rina's guesswork. Even so, it was all extremely convincing. This teacher's gonna come and stomp out and wonder where the heck we're at. We've been out here for like 5 minutes now. It was the only ray of hope we had to topple this situation bereft of clues.
じゃあレナ、リカちゃんはどこへ醤油をもらいに行ったんだ？
She went to the grocery store. Ooh, that was the heart of it. It would have to be somewhere she'd be comfortable with asking for soy sauce. And somewhere where Satoko wouldn't think it suspicious that she'd have been invited for dinner. So who was it? Rina slowly shook her head.
レナの推理はここまで。あくまでも想像だからね。警察の人とかには内緒にしておいてね。
Police love soy sauce.
隠すことはないんじゃないか。仮に半分しか合ってないとしてもきっとヒントにはなると思うぞ。
ケイチ君、これってひなみ沢の人を疑うって意味だよ。確信もないのに村の人を疑えない。
I saw a few girls coming over to rinse out their bento boxes. I thought you said nobody comes over here. Rina cut the conversation short there and returned to the classroom. I stayed there alone, my body bathed in the lively voices of the cicadas. Let's think about this. In my own way. Rina had barely any information to go on, yet she'd reasoned out that much. So there should be something that only I, who knew far more than Rina did, could deduce. Oishi-san said this last night too, but this incident was definitely occurring within Hinamizawa, Rinna might not have wanted to believe it, but it's basically a given that the culprit is someone from the village. That sounds familiar. The trigger for everything was when the four of us trespassed in the forbidden storehouse. Somebody saw us going in there. For the culprits, breaking the taboo is a crime punishable by death. So that night, Tomitake-san and Takano-san were sacrificed. There were two left. Shion and myself. However, before the culprits bore their fangs on Shion and me, they went after the mayor, whom Shion had confessed her sin. Next, they went for Rika-chan, to whom I'd confessed my sin. Then, what about Satoko? Just a stray bullet? By itself, Rika-chan being sacrificed after I told her everything was mortifying. But Satoko, who was sacrificed for no reason, wasn't that all the more regrettable? Everything was my fault. Who would be the next to disappear? Would it be Shion and me next time? Why weren't the culprits going for Shion and me right away, though? If they had enough power to erase the mayor and Rika-chan, then why not just get rid of Shion and me? If they went for us, well, I wouldn't like it, but I could still tolerate it. What I couldn't forgive was them getting rid of those we'd confessed to. Now that I think of it, yesterday Shion said something alarming. She felt like someone was watching her. So then, was someone watching me as well? Strangely, though, I hadn't felt anything like that until now. Even though I'm the root cause of everything, I'd never once had that impression. Maybe that was simply because Shion was more cautious than me, and I was just careless. That's another story, though. Let's get back on track. Why weren't the culprits going after Shion and me? I felt like that's where the key to this lay. Could it be... Was I making a big assumption that I shouldn't have been? I thought and thought, but couldn't come up with an answer. The one thing I understood was that I was a concerned party to this case, and that I had a duty to watch over it until everything got resolved.